What's up, guys? Welcome to another installment of T3 Crime Stoppers. I hate doing these videos, but it seems to be a constant in today's society, and especially in Los Angeles, right? And today we have a story from Los Angeles. I'm going to go ahead and tell the time. It is 3:04 p.m. Let's get down to business. So, okay, I live in LA, as I mentioned, but I specifically live in a suburb of LA. And just because you're not like in the city with like downtown Skid Row, vagrants everywhere, bad things can still happen. And it happened to a pretty high profile individual, Walker Buehler, who's a LA Dodgers starting pitcher. And it happened at a horse race track in Arcadia. Now, Arcadia is by Pasadena, which is like a suburb of Los Angeles. I'm going to go ahead and put on my headphones, and let's take a look at this story.
Well, as he gets ready to start tonight, we have learned that Dodgers pitcher Walker Buehler was robbed by a mob at Santa Anita Park. They took his watch, which is reportedly worth more than $100,000.
Damn.
Still unclear when this happened, but we've learned a mob of people surrounded Buehler and his wife, and that is when somebody unbuttoned his shirt sleeve and took the watch. Buehler will be starting for the Dodgers tonight in Game 3 of the National League Division Series in San Diego.
Okay, so why is this crazy? Well, for a multitude of reasons. Number one, I'm kind of eating my words here. Do you guys remember, I think it might have been like pre-pandemic, this Luxury watch lock? So I made fun of this. I used to do deep dives on like really terrible Kickstarter projects and stuff in the watch world, and this was something that I just eviscerated on my channel. I didn't understand it, and the truth is, like, if someone really wants your watch, they can grab it, and the spring bars aren't gonna hold the head of the watch onto the bracelet most of the time. So like, if you yank it hard enough, the head of the watch will disconnect from the bracelet, and you can, take the watch that way. But this person apparently was a savvy, pickpocket, sleight of hand, was able to deftly unbutton his shirt sleeve, undo the clasp or, buckle, and take the watch off of his wrist. Now, when you're with, your wife and there's a mob of people surrounding you, it's just a sketchy situation. And like I said earlier, like, I thought that maybe if someone was getting close to me, I would have the situational awareness to thwart that attempt. But it might be easier said than done because it happened to him in, a public area, and I guess it was a little bit too public. I mean, how many people were around him? That's what's crazy. But who knew that all these low lives would make it to a horse race track? Now, here's another thing to consider. I'm wearing a watch. I'm actually here. Let me make the screen bigger for you guys so you can see. I'm wearing a watch with a butterfly clasp. Now, I'm not a huge fan of butterfly clasps traditionally. I'm wearing a Chris Ward 12. Love this watch. Super badass. And this butterfly clasp is actually really unique because it has on-the-fly toolless micro adjustment, and that makes this watch just so much more easy to wear. But that lock wouldn't really work with this. So I assume that, you're kind of pigeonholed into wearing a traditional clasp if you want to wear something like that. But here's my advice. Don't get a device like that to lock the watch on your wrist. It's going to make a bad situation worse. You can't quickly take the watch off. Someone has a weapon to you. They want the watch. They're just going to hurt you for it. It's not really great to have that. And then I've mentioned this on numerous episodes. It's not worth your life, okay? Your watch is really not worth your life. And if you're going into an area that you think is not really going to be very safe, and you might need one of those wristwatch locks, you probably shouldn't be wearing a watch in that area in the first place, and you might want to reconsider even going to that area. So the unfortunate truth, though, is if you do want to wear a watch, you're at risk everywhere, because Arcadia is actually a really nice part of town. Has a really good school district, and some really nice properties over there. It's right next to San Marino, which is like, I mean, it's crazy nice area over there. And, you know, a starting pitcher for the LA Dodgers was able to get his $100,000+ watch taken off his wrist at a horse race track. So, you know, just crazy. But this is some local news that I thought was interesting. Luckily, no one got hurt other than, you know, his pride and maybe his bank account a little bit. But he's a starting pitcher for the LA Dodgers, so I'm sure he can lose a couple watches and be just fine. But let me know what you think. Would you ever wear one of those wristwatch anti-theft devices? I've seen someone joke about that, and they're like, oh, I'll just put a zip tie. I'll just put a zip tie on the clasp of my watch. Or do you think that maybe, you know, you might want to reconsider what watches you wear, or if you even want to wear a watch? Leave me that comment. I will catch you on the next one. Love ya. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it.